Good morning, Lincoln Mitchell. Let's dive right into it as usual. Let's talk about small accounts. When you're dealing with small accounts, there's a couple things you definitely need to be aware of. One, people, is what kills small accounts the fastest way is definitely just not knowing the market. I always say that, and I know a lot of people say, "Why did he say that?" Because when I'm saying knowing the market is when you start to compare different indices or forex and things like that, people are unaware of how they move. They're unaware that sometimes one chart might move better on an hour chart, and one might move better on a 15th. One might have a 20 pip ATR, and another one might have a 5 pip ATR. And I think these are things that I'm stressing that because a lot of people really don't know. Like a lot of times I see people they trade euro and GD and the pound. Well, those are really not a scalping pair. That's not a pair that you want to put on a 2 or 3 minute chart or a 5 minute chart. That's a pair that you want to put on something like a 2 hour chart or something like that. And that's one of the reasons why small accounts y'all get decimated because y'all really truly don't know what to trade with small accounts. Next thing that kills small accounts is definitely the drawback. When you have a small account, you have to worry about the margin call and you have to worry about that drawback. So that goes back to the previous one, which is understanding the market. You don't want to trade ES with a small account. You don't want to trade CL with a small account. Those drawbacks alone would decimate you. They would destroy you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You do not want to trade those type of things. You want to stay with something that moves a little smoother, like a let's say for futures RTY 6E. Um, for Forex, you want to look stands that Aussie US and things like that. You don't want something to have that big swing when you're dealing with a small accounts. Another thing when you're dealing with the small accounts is definitely the emotions. Your emotions are a little bit more tied in. If you're sitting with an account with $40,000, as long as you don't over leverage it, you're pretty good. You can kind of finagle it and kind of let it sit out and play out. Versus a small account, you have to be very, very cautious of it. The good benefit for a small account is it perfects your entries. When you're dealing with a small account, since you have to worry about the drawback and other factors, is your entries have to be pretty damn acute. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to have a pretty damn precise entry. And I think that's a benefit of it, but it's also a failure because most people really don't understand their entries. And there is a right way and a wrong way to enter trade, people. Another thing on small accounts is your setups, people. You can't have a swing setup on a small account trading futures. You get killed if that thing gaps up and gaps down. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get back to that euro pound. Now that euro pound, if you have a swing setup, you're pretty good as long as you don't over leverage it. Do you see what I'm saying? But if you're sitting with, let's say, NQ, let's use NQ, which you can trade very efficiently on a small account. But what happened if you try to swing that one? What happened if you try to trade the opening on NQ? Man, you can get decimated. So you know what? The opening is about to come on. I don't think I'll be around that long for this video. So you want to kind of cherry pick things when you're doing small accounts. You got to be very, very careful about what you want to do when you're dealing with small accounts, people, because you don't want that drawback. That drawback I'm always talking about the drawback because I really believe that's one of the hindrance that I had, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the hindrance that many people have because you always go in these trades, then after a while you go, man, that thing played out just like I wanted it to. Well, that's because your drawback wasn't able to sustain that pull. I mean, your account or your emotions wasn't able to sustain that drawback. I don't know if I put combination. People, the combination is very, very, very important when you're talking about small accounts. What do I mean by the combination? Combination is the charts. What charts you're using. And please, people, get that crap out of your head one time frame. If you're trying to trade one time frame, I don't care what you're doing. That's a recipe for disaster. In order to do this right, you're going to have a combination of charts. Charts. I said charts with an S. I didn't say chart. So many people tell me oh man, I trade the 1 hour, 1 minute chart and it works fine for me. But yet they go into work at 5 o'clock today. No. What charts are you adding with that 1 hour chart to support it or feed into it? Are you adding a 30 seconds, which I don't do those low time frames like that. Let's use for me. My perfect setup, the one that I have broke all my records on. Every record I ever have was on this setup. And I'm about to give y'all a good reward nugget. This, to me, is by far the best setup I have ever had on Forex and futures. 15, 30, an hour. Those three right there were my best setups. I have tried every setup all the way down to the damn 15-second charts. I have tried every setup all the way up to the weekly charts. But now, that is not the ideal setup for a small account. A small account, you probably want to do closer to scalping than position trading or intraday trading. Do you see what I'm saying? I intraday trade, so I have to be able to take that swing. I have to be able to say, okay, if I'm looking at my daily chart, this daily chart shouldn't get past this number. If I'm looking at my hour chart, the hour chart should set up. And once again, let's talk about understanding the market. A lot of people won't take the hour chart, say the hour chart is broken down to 24 hours, but then they won't take the dead zone time, which is roughly about 11 o'clock to about 1 o'clock. Those are dead zone time. Then they won't take it and say, you know what, the hour chart really doesn't move from 5 to 7. Once again, that's another dead zone time. Then they won't take in consideration why it's fresh on my head, people. Let me say this real quick. Watch those wicks right here. This thing should take that out. That should take that out sometime today. Which is 92. So they won't take those hours. They won't take that. Chicago is about to kick in right now. And let's see what's going to happen to Chicago's. We're going to watch this RTY. It's about to kick in 30 seconds here. I want to see what's going to happen. I'm going to slide it over for y'all real quick. What I'm saying is watch this wick today. I'm going to put a line right here on this wick. We're going to just watch it a little bit. Matter of fact, I might make 2 parts to this video. Now, I want to see what's going to happen in about 30 seconds. So, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are, even when you're doing the small accounts, a lot of people are not taking, I'm going to let y'all hear the bell. Hold on, because I got my speaker turned off. It's about to ring in a second here. In 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Let's just watch that wick. But, all right. Now, it might not hit that wick. I don't know. All I'm saying is that wick is not going to last for the rest of the day. Now, and that's my whole point with small accounts. You also have to be able to understand the sessions of small account, which is another very, very important factor. I'm going to watch this just one quick second here. See what happens. Hold on, where we at? So remember that wick is at 92. We're gonna watch that wick, y'all. This is a small account right here, people. This is one of them. I'm almost certain this is a small account. Now that thing just flew up, which is cool. But anyway, if you're watching this video, today is the 29th. So you want to keep a good eye on that wick right there. That wick should be taken out today, which is that 92. Now, let's get back to the small account situation. People, you have to learn how to play the sessions. And this is a prime example of this. That wick went all the way down to 93. And this is what I'm talking about, the drawback. Now, it just flew back up to 92, 95. So if you're running a small account, that move alone is about $100 if I ain't mistaken. what, 14.95, 14.95, and it was at 14.92. See, that's $150 drawback, people. You know, so you got to be able to withstand that. It's going for that wick, y'all. It's going for that number I just told y'all. What's that, 92? And that's my whole point. See there? It's going for it now. But the more to the story I was trying to get y'all to understand was you have to be able to stand. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. This is a very, there you go, it hit it. Now, that is a great prime example of what I'm talking about when you're dealing with small accounts, people. That is a great example. That thing went back $150 back the opposite way. If you're running a small account with $600-700 or even $500 or even $1,000, that's over 15% of your account that fast. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be able to withstand a lot of that type of stuff. I got to watch this, y'all. I mean, it already hit one of my targets, but it still got more room to go. All right, Lincoln Mitchell.